folks who are here in Shanklin on the Isle of Wight, and we've got the one and only Tanja Rebel.
Yay!
And yeah, good to see you again, Tanja. Yeah. What brings you to the island anyway, and how did you get here?
Well, it's a good old reunion. We've been to the island many a time. We lived on the island.
Yes.
We come once a year now as a tradition for the festival. But our car broke down on the way. Our 21-year-old beloved car.
I've got to admit, I'm not surprised, really. You know.
Well, but it's you know
the trouble you had last time.
The good old technology often works better, and now we have a rental car. And God, have cars become complex or what? It's just the one after the other. It's Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It tells you what to do. It tells you what to think.
Radar.
It even says when you turn it off, look for belongings and passengers, as if I can't make that up for myself.
Might be someone hiding under the seat or something.
Well, yeah, you never can tell. But also, all that technology, of course, is a lot of radiation.
Oh yes,
which is
insane. Electric
cars.
It's not an electric car though, as such, is it? But
no, it isn't. But all the radar.
It's got all the Bluetooth and everything. Yeah,
it exposes you. You're in a Faraday cage, a metal cage that bounces around, and it exposes other people, including wildlife. Because there's radar sensing everything, and we knew already in the 60s that radar is not particularly good for us.
Right.
Good for the military, perhaps, not for us.
Well, this is right. This is right. It goes back to the 1800s, doesn't it, with Marconi and stuff.
Yeah, it does.
That's Arthur Furstenberg, isn't it? The Invisible Rainbow.
Arthur, bless him.
Mentioned that book, 2014, and it was published.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the 1800s, doesn't it? And he's come up talking about. I was in London the other day talking about Kensington Gardens, what's surrounded with there's about 38 masts all around it, north, south, and west, and all the sparrows have disappeared.
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't go on because.
And the bees and the birds, they all suffer because they navigate according to the electromagnetic field.
Well, sparrows, because I've got dunnocks here. I don't see any sparrows anymore. But the dunnocks are not as many as there were 5-6 years ago, that's for sure. But I don't know whether the sparrows, it's their metabolism, their makeup that makes them more vulnerable to radiation.
Probably.
But they've certainly disappeared in Kensington Gardens since they put those masts up.
Yeah, it's not strange because especially the 5G frequencies, the higher frequencies, and the 6G soon, which is going to be even higher frequencies, they're affecting particularly the birds, the bees, the pollinators, which are essential to us, who, as I say, navigate according to the electromagnetic field. But the smaller, the more sensitive you are, including for humans, children, of course, who have thinner skulls, they absorb far more of the microwave radiation.
Yeah. You know what Mark Steele said once? It's a misnomer, but the smaller the bird, the faster it cooks in a microwave oven, and it's a misnomer, but that's basically...
experiment with that. We know, we're microwaving ourselves now.
Well, people microwave birds, don't they? Frozen chickens and stuff.
Yes, at least they're dead beforehand, but even so, microwaving your food is not good. Not good for the food, not good for us.
Well, that's right, that's what he's saying, basically. I mean, in London, you go up there, it's a giant microwave oven, it takes me a week to recover.
It is, it's like we're turning the planet into a microwave oven.
It's basically radiation poisoning,
It is. You know what I noticed?
Radiation sickness,
It's interesting because we know, my campaigning started with the blue, rich, white LED lights that they rolled out, which we now know is the precursor of 5G. It's needed for smart cities, etc. Now these lights are also harmful in general, not just because LED lighting has a higher EMF, electromagnetic radiation exposure, etc.
It's getting towards
and it's too intense. We know that from the car headlights, and it's too white. But it's upsetting for the circadian rhythms. It wakes us all up at night. The animals, birds. But I noticed with this rental car that we have that because we know now that there's far fewer insects on our windscreens squashed, and you could argue that's positive for the insects, but there's fewer insects, and that's a catastrophe. Now the car that we're driving now has very white lights, to my shame, because I am campaigning against these blinding headlights, because we can't even drive at night anymore. And in the day it's getting harder because of the lights even in the day being too intense. It's madness. But these lights, William, my husband, noticed that it has a lot of insects, so there are still some, because the white light attracts insects more, so it's killing more wildlife.
Yes, well, yeah.
And I've said this to the Department for Transport, because I've said to them it's harmful, it's lethal, because it blinds people off the roads, literally, but also it disturbs wildlife.
Anything put the kills it. Like what I like. But you're talking about the midges on the motorways.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. I mean, I didn't get a car till at the beginning of the 80s. I was slow to get into everything, you know, mortgage, whatever. I was like approaching 30 before I decided I'm going. That's why I've struggled so much, really, because I didn't get a head start like everybody else. I walked away from it, you know what I mean? But what was it? Yeah, I'm backward as a kid, but even when I first got a car in the 80s, you go up a motorway, early 80s this was, and before that, and you get your destination, your windscreen and your radiator grill will be covered in midges splattered all over it.
Yeah.
Now, the 1G came in on the motorways for car phones, didn't it, in the mid-late 80s, and since then they've all gone. You hardly get any now. You don't get that problem
anymore. Radiation killing insects as well, and
that's what I mean, killing the midges.
Now everywhere. I mean, we've been campaigning recently for the analog copper landline because that's the only benign, safe, secure method of communicating. It works during a power cut, so it needs to be protected as in law. Really, it needs to be protected in law as critical infrastructure for national and international security. Because once the power goes, or we get a cyber attack, they're all telling us now, oh, there might be something coming, stock up, you know, on food and water, blah, blah. But they don't tell us, once the light goes out, how will we communicate?
Yeah.
The copper landline works during a power cut.
You can't charge a telephone and a mobile in a power cut either.
No, so it's essential to keep that.
It makes me think of that little bit of news a little bird said to me about the festival the other day. And that one of the phone masts was down. So all the people who had that, I don't know which provider it was, but because there's many, you know.
Other providers
all the people who were on that network, that mobile network, couldn't use the phones. And the youngsters of today, they don't even have cards, they have apps on the phones. So they couldn't go and buy food because the Isle of Wight Festival's all digital now. Gosh. There's nothing, you can't use cash there.
Poor souls, they were starving.
Well, they'll have to go down to town and stuff, you know, to get food and stuff.
There's no cash at all. They can't buy any food. It's ridiculous. And once you have everything on your phone, what happens when it goes?
That's not the point. I hope that makes a few of them maybe think, oh, this ain't right, is it? You know.
You could hope, because it's mad.
As to be marching at that digital prison, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's what it really is about. I mean, once they get us on wireless everything, number one, obviously you can be surveyed far more, so it's about surveillance, and they can control what you do, because once the CBCD is in, the digital currency, you will not be able to move.
Well, that's right. That's a must.
Powers that be agree.
We must keep cash. That's one of the main items we must keep. Yeah.
And the festival, the Isle of Wight Festival, which is a very lovely festival, very loved, should know better. They should have cash.
Well, what about this? So my friend, he's got a family, you know, he's just had a new baby, but he's telling me his kids, like the kids who can't afford mobile phones and all that, the council are giving them so they can use their apps to get the bus on the bus.
And children should not have mobile phones. We know now, we talk about social media, but really a smartphone is a potential weapon, not just to others, but to yourself.
It's very dangerous.
Because we know how it harms children's mental health and other people's mental health, but also it harms physical health. Nobody talks about that yet. It's not in the mainstream, but we're starting to figure out more and more that these things, there's actually in the mainstream now that fertility rates are plummeting across the world, even in developing countries, which scientists are dumbfounded by. Yeah. But they shouldn't be, because there's so many studies showing that smartphone affects fertility. Now, actually, in the mainstream, they're not talking about the smartphone being the reason. They're mentioning it not as a physical cause, but as a cause of people isolating themselves more, not starting real relationships. Because we're breaking the connection with others and the connection with the earth and the heavens for that connectivity stuff.
When I travel on the underground in London, it's great in London with the underground because you can get from there to be really quick. You can get all over the capital really quickly, and it's dead handy. But I'm always in a hurry to get off the bloody train and go in there. And there's 90% of the carriages, 90% are on iPhones. And the EMFs are really high.
And a metal box, and deep down, imagine the boosters they need to get 5G.
Yeah.
I know Sadiq Khan, the mayor, was proud of putting 5G in there, but it's
they have the modem things, the twigs and all the stations going, and that's when they log in when they're in the stations.
Yeah.
You know,
and they don't connect to each other, and they won't meet a partner, and there won't be future. But yeah, it goes on. But above all,
like you say, it's very antisocial though. Because a lot of people,
it is.
They don't. They're a bit. I think a lot of people get a bit claustrophobic or afraid. I can see fear in their eyes and when they're amongst people, and that gets them away from it all.
Yeah, the mirror preserves. There's a smart mirror, as I call it, sucks them in.
Yeah.
And that's why for children,
then they
totally
forget everything
crazy.
around them, you know, which is amazing, isn't it? Really, you've had accidents on the streets through it and all sorts.
You see them colliding with each other, looking into their mirrors.
Or you say, "Excuse me, mate, what? Take the earpods out. Well, can you? Do you know where so-and-so is? Hang on, I'll just get me on the thing." I said, "Oh, sorry, it doesn't matter, because they always send me in the wrong direction."
We're all going over.
What is it, Google Maps?
Don't get me started on those AirPods. You know, I call them airhead pods, because more and more people are getting wireless headphones.
Well, yeah.
And it's totally harmful, because you're microwaving your brain.
It's Bluetooth, basically.
Yeah, and it's going right in. So I keep telling people, if you need headphones wired, because then it goes to the wire, not you, and preferably with air tubes.
That's right.
Of course, you shouldn't use a phone at all if you care about yourself and the environment.
That's right.
And about surveillance, because
mine's in flight mode most of the time.
the smartphone is the gateway.
I don't use mobile data at all.
Well, no, there we are. But the smartphone as such is the gateway into AI control.
Oh, definitely.
And so it's the way in. Eventually it will be chips and all the rest. But for now, if people are serious about stopping AI taking over, and AI is going to take over if we do not stop it now, then the power is in our hands, and we need to ditch the smart and get wired connections which are safer.
Yeah, but
analog copper landline.
I think fundamentally it's I mean, when I go to London, I see there's no way this lot are going to throw the phones away. They're everywhere, thousands of them. But what we need to do,
critical mass.
It's a nanny state. It's a nanny state. We need someone in power, some altruistic people in power who can just shut the 5G down.
Well, 5G is a
Shut
start.
it down, because that's a spider at the centre of the web. Without 5G, they can't have the Internet of Things.
Yeah, I'd say AI is the spider now at the centre of the web, but 5G is the means by which it proliferates. So AI needs wireless like humans need water. That's why wireless is pushed on us. That's why they're phasing out the copper landlines. That's why they're forcing us more onto Wi-Fi and smartphones. You can't even go anywhere without. I don't use one, but it's getting harder and harder. So that's really important. AI is in the center, but 5G and 6G soon need to be stopped, because they're enabling the Internet of Things, where everything beams at you, your fridge and your baby's nappies, crazy, your cat litter tray. I mean, we need to start thinking for ourselves. That is absurd in itself, but it also radiates everything. And then there's the Internet of Bodies, which is 6G. That's what they want to get with 6G, with the satellites.
Yeah.
Do you know that they're going to connect in this country now the satellites, the trains to the satellites? So not only are you going to have Wi-Fi, which people complain doesn't work, but you're going to be fried by satellite connection, which is already these satellites, the low Earth orbit satellites, Muskie Boys and Amazon Busy Boys toys, up there in the lower stratosphere, destroying the atmosphere, blanketing the Earth with electrosmog. Now going to beam through an electric metal train cage into our brains.
Well, none of the whole system is sustainable at all. It's all under the United Nations sustainable agenda thing, isn't it? You know, but none of it's sustainable at all. I mean, look at the data centres they need. They're massive. And they're using tons of water for cooling purposes, same as the 5G masts. They're wondering why did it take so much power? Because they've got cooling equipment in there as well to keep them cool.
Energy conservation, anyone? Climate change, anyone? I mean, how does it go together? It doesn't add up.
It doesn't at all, no.
And the data centers, they like you say, water usurpers, energy usurpers, they pollute the atmosphere, the earth, the air.
We haven't got that amount of energy. This is one of the reasons the plumbing for getting. I mean, I agree with we're taking our gas out of the North Sea, because at the moment we're buying it from Norway, or we're taking out of the same North Sea basin that we use. So what's it? But basically all this sustainable energy, you know, your solar farms and your wind turbines and all that, it's not sustainable. So we need energy. We need fossil fuels, basically, you know, we need to be burning.
But I do agree with that we need to phase out eventually fossil fuels.
No, we don't.
But to a certain
I don't
degree.
agree with that, I'm afraid.
No, fair enough, but what we need to stop is pollution of all levels, and air pollution is harmful too.
You can stop pollution on the floor, air pollution.
Yeah,
you know.
but it's hard.
But they're saying, they're giving us this CO2 rubbish, when CO2 is the gas of life. And fossil fuels
yeah, I would be careful saying it's gas. It's all about proportions. You can say something is the gas of life, so is oxygen, but it needs to be proportionate. But I'm not going into the climate change.
It's not disproportionate.
Debate.
We haven't got enough CO2 in the atmosphere.
Yes, but I'm not going to go into that debate, because what I want to say to everybody, regardless whether you think climate change is an issue or not, is we need to stop.
It's an issue, but it's not man-made. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, that's your opinion, and that's fine. And my opinion is that we need to look at the facts, well, and we need to yeah, and I agree with you that it's a complex issue, but I don't care, frankly, if it's man-made or not.
You would agree that net zero is a scam, though, yeah?
Or human-made. What I care about, Derek, is that we stop all pollution, that we reduce, to start with, of course, because ideally we stop the pollution. For now, we need to reduce, and that includes water, air, and that's fossil fuels as well, I'm afraid. There's no panacea. And it includes, of course, soil pollution, which is essential.
When you reduce it, it could be caught on the ground.
The two blind spots, and that's the most...
To spend billions on all this rubbish stuff, when they could be spending billions on keeping air pollution down.
Well, that's my point.
Not getting out in the
they are
first
trying
place,
to save the planet, quote unquote, with light and with smart, so-called smart solutions. So the bright blue witch light lights, which we know are harmful to wildlife and us, and then they're putting more smart connections, smart meters, it saves energy, blah blah, but they are beaming pulsed intense radiation at us and wildlife. So it's not a solution, it's harmful to the ecology. So it's really important to find solutions that are holistic, and this way everybody can find a common platform. Whether we are green, whether we are for freedom, whatever we are, I think we should agree upon that we need to work on environmental solutions that are real, ecologically sane, whether they be fossil or whatever, but that they are soft to the planet. But the problem nowadays is that people seem to be completely blind to light and electrosmog pollution, because they're so addicted to their screens, which emit blue rich white light at night as well. Even if you make it warm, it's still not good for you. But it also emits radiation, and somehow, because you can't see the radiation, it doesn't exist.
Well, that's right, yeah.
And it does, and it's affecting us all, because we are electric beings.
I shouted down the BBC about it, you know. Would you walk in a London Pea Super, if you know, and what you do, you're walking in electro smog, which is a similar thing, but you can't see it, you know.
If it was diesel, if they pump diesel
we're running out of time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause and probably go on to another, because I want you to talk a bit more about this.
If they pump diesel into the underground or into your car, you would immediately run out. Well, electrosmog is similar, you just can't see it or smell it. It still is harmful, and it enters through your skull and through your skin, it's absorbed by everything.
You're breathing it in,
so it's
charged particulates, your pollution, those particulates are all charged in the atmosphere, so you're breathing it in as well.
Yeah, it's all one.